So, here was their plan. So, their plan was to destroy you emotionally, mentally, socially, and the reason was so they wouldn't need to confront you. They wouldn't need to confront what they were doing to you, right? This was the intention, to keep you weak. So you would never be in your strength and they would never have to deal with the consequences of their actions, right? But at the end of the day, it didn't work. So, yes, they might have destroyed your name, your reputation. They might have tried to destroy you mentally and emotionally, and they might have truly hurt you, obviously, right? But at the end of the day, what it is just make you stronger, right? So, this was the message that I got that I needed to share with you. We are going to get into a reading. Welcome to my space. I hope that you are doing well. So, I know what deck I want to use. So, I will just take it and we will get into it. We might be talking about the same thing. We might be talking about something else. Maybe what is happening now, right? I hope everything is good with you, that you are having a good day or a good evening whenever you are watching this. I usually use this deck in the upright position, even though it might be that not all the cards are in the upright, but anyway, they are turning on the table usually. So, and yes, I took out the colors on my nails because what I didn't take in consideration, it is that with my crafting, the polish wouldn't stay nice, right? So now I think that they look good and clean. There is no color under, and I have another solution, but the other solution needs to arrive. So for the meantime, I hope that there will be not too much color. I made them shorter, so I hope that it's comfortable for you, because this is what you see at the end of the day, right? So, a great vision. Interesting. This one I will put back because it was just stuck on the other card. It is a number 33. Healing path. We might be talking about what I was just talking about. Financial stress. Yeah, this was their intention, right? This was the driving energy. They wanted you to be stressed out, totally. Agreement in the fourth position. Do I need to move the cards a little bit? I might need to move them. Let's see. A distant journey. Let's see, can you see the cards here? You absolutely can. Yes. Okay. Let me just put those cards here so I'm not burning the last one. A distant journey is a number 4 and it is in the 5th position. Very interesting. It's talking about somebody acting in a very familiar way and they needed to change it, right? Stop acting the way that they were acting. We are in the 5th position. Finding your place, 6th position, it's number 17. I will tell you all the numbers after. Maybe there is some kind of reference for you there. Let's take 3 more. 1, 2, et 3. Okay, yeah, we are exactly talking about the message that I received. I'm not surprised, right? When I'm getting a message, chances are that the reading might be connected. So, somebody thought that they had a great plan, right? A great vision. This is the card that is here. First, let me tell you the numbers. So we have 33, which is a 6, 34, 7, 4, 21, 3, 5, 17, which is a 8, 13, which is a 4, and 4 and 4. We have a lot of 4, right? 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay. Interesting. And the fourth card here, which is the foundation, it is an agreement. Okay, so listen. I'm talking to someone who has gone through a group attack, right? It was not one person, it was more than one person. It might have been even your family and a group, something like that. If we are talking about the workspace, so it might be people grouping together, and I'm sad to say that it kind of feels like it was truly an agreement, you know? Maybe somebody said, yeah, I don't like this person because of this and that and that and that. And so they saw how people were reacting to that and they were joining forces. And there is truly here an agreement. It's terrible to say. And so the whole idea was to put you in stress, right? Considering that this is the driving energy, so they wanted you to be in financial stress, maybe because they were themselves in some kind of financial stress. It can be. What seems that was very much bothering to them was, we have here in the second position the healing path, right? It's also a 34, which is a 7. What bothered them, right? It was that you were becoming more and more strong, right? So with time, they realized that they wouldn't be able to play with you anymore. Maybe in the past, they somehow could manipulate you, push on your buttons, and you got to a place of healing, of awareness, of self-awareness, of fighting for yourself, where they couldn't play you anymore, right? You might have opened your eyes about something, maybe gained some kind of independence, maybe independence of thinking. And so this was their biggest issue with you. It is your healing path, the fact that you were becoming more independently thinking, more of a free thinker, and that you were getting stronger and stronger. And so their great plan was to create you stress, financial stress, right? Isolate you, talk bad about you, talk bad about your work, all those kind of things. But what they didn't see coming, it was that they were just doing whatever they were doing there and thinking truly that they would be able to put you down. But they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. With the distant journey here, what I kind of feel, it is that they did the same thing for very, very, very long, hoping that at a certain moment you would bow down, you would take yourself out, if you understand what I mean. You would be destroyed, they would succeed to destroy you, right? Because maybe you were in isolation because of all of that. That maybe you were become totally dry financially. They thought that, first of all, I don't think that they thought that it would take so much time to take you out, right? And I kind of feel that they realized that they didn't succeed to take you out, and they didn't let go. They continue and they continue and they continue. And as I already told you, this is what makes them fall at the end of the day, right? Because in the beginning, they might pay attention to who they're talking to, they might pay attention to the details, but with time, they just became more and more nervous because also you knew more and more things about them because when they decided, right, there was this agreement to take from you. Take from you, we might be talking about money, but we might be talking about your mental health, your friends, making lies about you, manipulating people, all those kind of things, right? When they got into this energy, they got into it, right? And so they just exposed themselves more and more, and then they were more and more threatened by the fact that you were in fact just growing and healing, right? And all you could see more and more was truly their malicious intent. There was, if before they could somehow manipulate you, or at least they thought you already got to a place where they couldn't manipulate you anymore. You already saw things, right? This is why they attacked you, because you became too strong. Let me just tell you something, right? If you are in a healing path, the period where you will be the most attacked in your life, it is when you are gaining yourself back, right? The moment that people realize that in fact you are getting stronger, this is when you will be attacked. And it might be your family, it might be your friends, it might be anyone. Why? Because, it's like, this is the vision that I have, I give it to you. You are working at a workplace, right? And you started working there. You didn't have a lot of confidence about your value because you didn't know. But in fact, you were truly good at what you were doing, but you might have accepted somehow to be underpaid, or maybe you never asked to have some kind of promotion, right? The moment that you start to realize your value, this is when they will start to treat you very, very bad. In order for you to lower your expectations, lowering your confidence about your work because they don't want to pay you more. You understand what I mean? This is a little bit the idea. This is why when you are getting into a healing path and you start to truly regain yourself, this is when you will have the most attacks. But at the end of the day, what it means, it is that people are threatened by your healing and by your strength, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't attack you. But they are attacking you because they need you to stay down. They feel threatened by the fact that you are healing. And with healing comes also mental clarity, right? So you see things more. So not only people won't be able to use you and manipulate you like they did before, right? You won't be anymore a pawn in their game. So already there is a loss, but the biggest loss at the end of the day, it is that you will see very, very clearly who they are, right? And what you would see, it is here, the malicious intent. It is also in the 7th position, right? So there is no healing there. We are truly talking about people who are not into healing at all, right? So in the 8th position, very interesting, we are talking about karma, right? It's written unfortunate loss. So now they are going through the loss. The loss, first of all, of you, and the loss of even being able maybe to approach you and somehow regain some kind of control of the situation. And because of everything that they did in order to try to keep you down, to break you, right? They put a lot of energy into it. Energy driven by destruction. So karma is hitting them, right? If you are taking out energy of destruction on other people, the energy that you took out is destruction. It will come back to you, right? Especially that you didn't take it. You continue on your healing path, right? At the end of the day, they kind of forced you into getting even deeper in your healing, right? Because of what they did. So they had the opposite result of what they wanted. And so now they are dealing with anxiety. We won't cry for them, right? This is what they wanted for you. They wanted you to have loss. They wanted you to be in financial stress. You, at the end of the day, this is what we see here, finding your place. You had no other choice at the end of the day, truly. They wanted to destroy your healing, but what they did, it is to push you even further into your healing, right? Because they showed you clearly what you needed to heal from. Because before, it might have been sneaky. Now it was not sneaky anymore. It was obvious, right? And maybe also with this isolation, all you had was yourself, in fact, right? So you just strengthen your relationship with self. So while they were hoping that they would bring you down, destroy you, weaken you, right? And that they would be able to do whatever they wanted, at the end of the day, it's the total opposite that happened. So, this being said, let's get into a reading. Let's use this deck. Just a reminder before we start, this is a collective reading, which means that it is a group reading, which means that it might be for you, it might be partly for you, and it might not be for you. So please, take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't take on yourself a story that is not yours. You are already supposed to know what I'm talking about here. I'm just here in order to give you a little bit more information, insights, maybe confirmation about something that you are already aware of. If I'm talking about masculines or feminines, I'm not especially talking about the gender. I'm talking about the energy from where someone is operating. So please apply it however it applies to the roles in your life. And this can be past, present, or future. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's get into it. So, the Great Vision, tell me more about that. Page of Pentacles. And the Death card in reverse. Yeah, listen, the plan was very, very clear, right? It was to block anything to come into your life. They wanted to block your manifestations. They wanted to block your healing. They wanted to block opportunities to come towards you. They wanted you out, right? With the Death card, when it's in the upright, it's an ending for a new beginning, a better beginning. It's talking about transformation. In reverse, it is they wanted a total ending. They wanted to push you into taking yourself out. They wanted to destroy your hope. They wanted to destroy your perception of people, of the world. They wanted to break your heart, make you doubt of yourself, and for you to take out all taste of life that can be. This was the intention, truly, to dry you out totally. Make you even doubt of your own mental sanity, thinking that you are the problem, right? This was the intention. Great people, right? Beautiful people. Yeah. This is a spiritual attack, right? This is a spiritual attack. Tell me more here, please. Yeah. And instead, right, what did you do? I was looking at the healing path, right? 4 of Cups, protecting yourself. Totally protecting yourself, energetically protecting yourself, right? You might have truly created a bubble around you because you knew that whatever energy was coming from the outside, it was negative energy. It was meant, to truly destroy you. Might be talking about family, doesn't have to be family. You did everything that you needed to do in order to be able to continue on your healing path and work towards your peace and happiness. And it is exactly what you needed to do. And at the end of the day, all those people that were in your life, that at the end of the day, you might have been people pleasing and taking in consideration their comfort and all those kind of things, right? That at the end of the day, it was a burden for you more than anything. And at the end of the day, all that they did, it is to allow you, right, to take back all your energy for yourself. So at the end of the day, while they were trying to destroy you, they in fact created a situation in which you could put all your energy into yourself, into your healing, into building your peace, feeling yourself when you are at peace because you had no other choice but to find a way to bring peace into yourself within this situation, right? Okay, tell me here, the financial stress. Listen, I kind of feel here that for some of you, there was a financial intention behind it, right? We have the Empress here. You are abundant. This is talking about abundance, right? So I kind of feel here that they wanted you to be totally stressed out, right? What they wanted, in fact, it was to create some kind of self-hate inside of you, right? That you would be so stressed out that you would lose your mind, in fact, right? This was the intention. The intention was for you to take the swords and attack yourself because of what they were doing, right? Because of the group effect. This was the intention, in fact, right? Because there is here some kind of abundance. So, two possibilities. One, it is that they were after your abundance. They were after your money. They wanted to steal your money. Maybe for some of you, money have been stolen. Money, properties, inheritance. Maybe there is some kind of, how do we say, insurance on you, something like that, right? So this is the first thing. The second thing, it is that it might also be that they knew that you would be extremely abundant once healed. And they couldn't have that because they wouldn't be able to control you anymore. Which is totally stupid because from what I could see that the person that you are, right, you might have been the most generous person, not only to people who supported you and helped you, but also to other people that didn't, because you are somebody empathetic and caring and all those kind of things. If you ask me, the highest wouldn't have given you anything if you would have given your presence to people who are karmic, right? Very often this is what is happening. I answer this even in a comment, somebody saying, I don't understand why it's so difficult for me. For me, it was very, very, very difficult and it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. At the end of the day, the moment that I went finally no contact, because it was just what my family did, right? It was so... there was no denial anymore. I couldn't deny the reality anymore. It was in front of my eyes, right? I continued to work exactly the same way. And the highest showed me you did the right thing. Now I can give you your abundance. Before, I couldn't give you the abundance because if I would have given it to you, you would have given it to those people. Or those people would have stolen your abundance from you. Right? So, this is it. They wanted you to be totally stuck in your mind, right? Totally lost. Yeah, I truly feel that they wanted you to they made themselves too important, in fact, right? Because during all those times they didn't support you in any way. They didn't support you, they didn't help you, they only used you. So you know. But the thing is, because you were so kind, so understanding, so empathetic, right? So they thought that they were very, very, very important and that you wouldn't survive without them. When in fact, even if you might not have seen it in the moment, but maybe now you can feel that at the end of the day, it is a release, right? You can breathe better, you can think better, you don't have to deal with their bullshit, you don't have to pay attention and look behind your shoulder because you need to pay attention to every word that you say because they will anyway turn everything upside down and you won't have this weird vibe when you are with them that you are wondering what is going on. Your intuition, you know, the fight with your intuition telling you this is not love, this is not okay, there is no respect here, they don't care about you, and you trying to put it aside, you know, and make excuses for them. Now all this energy of your inner battles just to defend them and protect them in some kind of way, you have all this energy for yourself now, right? It's out of you, it's released. Okay, so they were attacking your abundance, right? Or the abundance that you have, or the abundance that they knew you would have. Very, very stupid plan. If there are cross watchers here, very stupid plan. Agreement. Tell me more about the agreement, please. Yeah. It was about blocking you, blocking your mastery. And at the end of the day, the card came out kind of like this, right? This is talking about mastery, right? So there is something that you are truly, truly good at. Truly, right? And they have always made you believe that it was nothing. That it was nothing, that you were nothing, you know, all those kind of energies, right? Yeah, destroying your stability. The agreement here, it was to stop you from becoming a master in whatever you are a master into, right? This was the intention. To not allow you to get to your place of power. But at the end of the day, they just gave you the space to master yourself even more. You understand the stupidity? It's totally stupid. Totally stupid. Right? Because at the end of the day, you just had more space, more time, more energy to master whatever you needed to master. Right? Yeah, Four of Wands in reverse. They wanted to destroy, the agreement was to destroy your joy and your happiness and your stability. I tell you, they wanted to push you into a deep depression, right? And so you wouldn't be here anymore, right? And they would be able to do whatever they wanted and pretend that they are whoever they want to be, right? This was the idea. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see about this distant journey here. It's interesting because what is written on the card, right? It is the familiar has served you well, but it's time to discover who you are beyond its borders. They have forced you outside of those borders at the end of the day, right? New worlds and new experiences await if you are willing to let go and take the first step, right? So I kind of feel that at the end of the day, right, you have somehow been forced to stop taking care of people and giving your energy to people who never deserved it. And you might have continued to give to some, right? Because it's family, because it's this, because it's that, because you are in your automatic way of being. I know that me personally, when I realized, right, that I was a people pleaser and that I needed to change that, I understood how it was a vicious cycle, in fact, right? It was not serving not me and not them, right? Even though they couldn't see that it was not serving them also, but obviously because they saw everything very basic, it was very pleasant to have a people pleaser. Why do they care if it destroys me or not, right? At the end of the day, to be honest. But even when I realized, right, that and I started to heal this thing, it was still very, very difficult for me with the people that have always known me as the people pleaser. It was very, very difficult for me to find another way of behaving. Even the automatic of somebody saying, that they have a problem, it was automatically I wanted to say, okay, I'm here. What can I do? How can I help? And I truly needed to hold myself back in order not to do that, because this is it's very difficult to break a habit. Even if you understand something, you know that you need to do the job. This is why I'm always saying that some people, they can say that they want to heal. If they say that, they want to do better and they say just for you, at the end of the day, it is so difficult to change even when you want to. So if they say that they want to change and that it's just for you, they won't do it because it truly requires a lot of effort. And if you don't do it truly for yourself because you understand the value of doing it, you are not doing it. It is too difficult. It's too difficult, truly. So, this being said, at the end of the day, this has somehow allowed you to start anew, right? To start anew, to start clean. So, finding your place. Tell me about the finding your place. Yeah, this gave you the space and the patience to invest truly in yourself, right? We have the Tree of Wands here also, right? This is talking about waiting for things to come towards you, right? With the Two of Wands, you are planning things, and in the tree, it becomes concrete. We are not anymore in the planning, we are in the concrete here, right? Here, it put a total ending. It put a total ending. And when you have nothing in front of you, then you can truly recreate. I'm seeing the tower, the tower card in front of me, right? The situation created a total destruction, right? We have also the death card here. So it's a total ending. It's a total ending. You got to a place where, maybe not with everyone, but with many people, you knew that it was done and over with. You don't even want them to come back. You don't want to hear their apology. If they have the ability to apologize, But you understand what I mean? You truly turn the page. It's over. It's done. And at the end of the day, it left you an open space, It's like a blank page. It's very different, let's say. I don't know why I have this vision, but this is what I have. You have a tattoo, right? A tattoo on your arm, let's say. And you don't like it. You don't like it anymore, right? it's much more difficult to change an existing tattoo and make it look good, truly, right? That you don't see anymore at all what is under. You are constrained in some kind of ways, right? It's possible to totally cover it, but you don't have the same freedom than if there is nothing and you are just putting a tattoo on nothing. You understand what I mean? This is what I feel with this Three of Wands. It truly allowed you to design the whatever you want to design, being totally free. Totally free. It is a blank page. There is nothing anymore. Which at the end of the day, it's ideal if you think about it, right? Okay. And then it allows you, it's interesting because I ask about, the finding your place. We are also with the number 17 here. This is the star energy. You might have before had a hard time with your spiritual journey and your spiritual path into the world that you were into. It might have been a problem. You might have been seen as weird by those people, right? Because there is a lot of Queen of Pentacles in reverse here, right? Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles reverse. This is the energy, Their god is money. It's all about image. It's all about status. It's all about all those kind of things. They are into the matrix. They don't understand that they are totally mind controlled, in fact, right? So, what was I saying about that? Yeah, the star energy, right? Because the star card, it is in fact talking about, it comes right after the tower. I talked about it in a reading not long time ago. The tower, which is a total destruction, right? Because the foundation is not stable, so it's a total destruction. And then the star card, we are saying that it is talking about healing, and it kind of is, but it is especially being able to live your life in total alignment, right? So, kind of feel here that with this blank page, right? It's a blank page now. You can truly, it gave you the space to truly, totally embrace yourself. You didn't have to adapt yourself to anything anymore, right? I'm talking to someone who was truly pushed into isolation, right? The hermit mode. Okay, let's see. Malicious intents. Oh, la, 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 la. I'm asking the malicious intent, what is the card that is coming out? The devil, right? They wanted to keep you down. They wanted to keep you bonded. They wanted you maybe to, if you had some kind of addictions, and they might have told you, no, and you have to release of this addiction or this addiction. In fact, no. They wanted you to be in the addiction, right? The devil. They want you down. They want you down. We are talking here about someone who is all about control. They have no morality, integrity, ethics. There is nothing there, right? They are driven by their shadows. This is what it is, right? The Fool, yeah? They thought that they would destroy your faith, right? And maybe somehow it has shown you a face of humanity that is kind of very, very painful and deceptive. But I kind of feel that it has grown your faith in yourself and maybe even your connection with the highest, right? But their intent was truly to destroy your faith. They wanted you to do something stupid. Observe the image, because look at this image, right? we can imagine that this person is going to open the window and jump, right? And we see that they are here. Can you see? We can see that they are here trees, right? So this person, it's high. She's high. If she's jumping, you know what it means, right? This is what they wanted to push you into. But they didn't understand that even if you would have jumped, right, the hand of the highest would have taken you back. Because maybe you jumped, maybe not physically jumped, right, but maybe emotionally, right? You have totally abandoned at certain times, right? But at those moments where truly you wanted to abandon, something happened and made you continue. Even if it was, you know what, I can also abandon tomorrow. I still have the option now, I have chocolate in my cupboards. So if already tomorrow I'm not here anymore, so why... Sorry, somebody doesn't want me to say that apparently. So why not just enjoy the day and eat all the chocolate that I enjoy? And, you know, I don't know, something like that that made you just continue, you know? Give me a little bit more here about this malicious intent. If we need anything more, I don't know. Yeah. Very interesting. Ace of Wands. At the end of the day, there was a spark of something inside of you that made you continue day after day after day after day. And with the time passing, all what happened, it is that you gained more and more clarity, more and more understanding, not just about the situation itself, but about yourself. Look at this person here, this King of Swords, right? Full of books. So we might just be talking about knowledge, right? Understanding. Something, it doesn't mean that you had to read books, right? You understand what I mean? Knowledge, somehow. You received knowledge, you received clarity, you received information, awareness, self-awareness, all those kind of things, right? Yeah, this is the energy of life. This is the energy of life. The Ace of Wands. This is the sparkle, right? Maybe at some moments you wanted to shut the sparkle, but the sparkle was still there. They didn't succeed to totally destroy the sparkle. They didn't. Give me one more here. Yeah, look. The Knight of Wands. This is, I was talking about the sparkle. This is fire and fire. This is the sparkle at the end of the day. Maybe, you know, it was very, very, very small, but every day that you could just not let it totally die, it just grew and grew and grew, and maybe suddenly you got new ideas, new things that you wanted to do, new motivation, new curiosity, new things that you did that you would have never thought that you would do, right? This is a very active energy. This is a passionate energy, right? Even maybe the situation itself made you passionate about some kind of truth that might inspire your next project, or maybe it has inspired some kind of project inside of you, right? Something new that you need to do. With the King of Swords here, we are also talking with the swords. We are also talking about communication, right? Yeah. They wanted you truly to be in a total mind fog. Fog. Fog, right? Also mind fuck, if you ask me. But they wanted you to be totally lost in your mind and emotionally totally lost. At the end of the day, what do we have here? So I don't say that it came in one day, right? Because we have the Ace of Wands. So I kind of feel that sometimes you were truly just holding on a threat, but the fire didn't get out, never. And it just grew to something passionate. I kind of feel that you might have had periods that were very, very, very down, and then suddenly you had an idea, something, you know what, I will do this today, and I will do that today, and I will, and at the end of the day, they wanted you to be more and more confused, right? And at the end of the day, they just gave you the space to be more and more clear-minded and to have a deeper level of understanding. The time, right, that they gave you, that they were hoping that you would, it would bury you, what it did, it buried your past life and putting a total ending to your past life with those people, with the image that they were projecting on you, who they said that you were. You could bury all of that, and it gave space to this blank canvas, right? Where the only thing that remains, but it's the most important, it is your fire, your soul, right? The Ace of Wands, your essence. We are talking about your essence. You became, in this environment, pure essence. Okay. Let's see now the unfortunate loss and the anxiety. What is for sure is that they lost a lot of energy trying to do something that they didn't succeed to do, right? Unfortunate loss. Ooh. They lost their mind. At the end of the day, they lost their mind. They are totally confused. They don't understand. They don't understand. And look what we have here. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This is the strongest card of the minor arcana, if you ask me, right? Because we also have in the endings, in the 10, we also have the 10 of Cups, which is like we see the image of a happy family and everything. This is, first of all, we are in the Pentacles, which is the most important part for them. The fucking Pentacles. Money is God. Their status is God. Their reputation. Their power. Everything is about Pentacles. Look, they are losing it all. They are losing their status, their reputation, the legacy that they were supposed to bring here. There is no legacy. It's over. It's done. And they didn't even see it coming. You know why? Because they were concentrated on you. They were with all their energy into destroying you. And this is why they didn't even see it coming. Can you see the Page of Swords? Kind of, but not really. Here you can see it. Okay. Tell me something. The anxiety. Did you see how the King of Pentacles turned? And the Queen of Cups in reverse. Non, mais sérieusement. Okay, listen. Yeah, they were all about, as said, money, status, power, all those kind of things. You saw how it was turning, right? You saw. It was turning like this, right? There is no like this. This is not. Right? This is arrogance, this is corruption, this is all of that. They cannot even be that anymore, right? Because they are losing their money, they are losing their status, they are losing their power, they are losing their reputation. Everything that was holding them, right? All the ego that was holding them, they are losing. They are losing it. They don't have it anymore. And they are nothing without that, right? It reminds me of the story that I already told you. And I was with a friend, right? But she was young. So the phrase that came out of her mouth, she was young. She was 15, 16, 17, something like that, right? So she took a plane. And so when she came back, they lost her luggage, right? And she said to me, without my luggage, I have no personality. Without their money, they have no personality. Without the image, they have nothing. They have nothing, right? And we are talking about full-blown adults. And they are playing the victim. Queen of Cups in reverse. They have the audacity to play the victim, right? This tells me here, narcissist. But a lot of people, at the end of the day, they might not be full-blown narcissists, but we are kind of in a world where there is a lot of narcissism, right? You don't have to be a full-blown narcissist to be a narcissist in some kind of way, right? Operate as a narcissist. My image, everything is superficial, Everything is shallow. Yeah, so they are playing the victim now, obviously. You understand? But this is also the thing. It's very interesting because I just thought about that. Because they are the smallest thing that happened in their life, they will play the victim, right? And so for them, it was obvious that when you were a victim, because they are so fragile and they are unable to take responsibility, accountability, be resilient, move forward, do the best with whatever situation you are dealing with, this is why they thought that you would end yourself, right? Because it's their mentality, right? Why did they want to create you financial stress? Because for them, they are nothing without that. Without their image, without the designer, without the status, some kind of way, and some of them, their style might be the opposite of designer, but it's still, they will still buy something, that is designer. They need all of that to hold themselves, right? They cannot drive in an old car, They cannot. All those kind of things, right? It's all projection. But they were sure, and this is why they're so confused, because they were sure that you wouldn't be able to survive because they projected themselves. That's it. That's all. Okay, so now they are anxious because there is no more... The image is broken, right? They cannot maintain the image. They cannot. And they cannot maintain the image, first of all, because I kind of feel that now they wanted to create for you financial stress, right? We also saw the Empress here. They wanted to take from you your abundance. So I kind of feel that this is exactly what is happening to them, which for them it is I'm not saying that being in financial stress, it's not a stress, obviously. But this is not what we are talking about. We are talking about people who needed their money not in order to feed their children. This is not what we are talking about. We are talking about people who needed the money for their status, right? They needed to you know, it's not about the money for a healthy reason, right? There is the healthy, the healthy. Can we consider that a concept made of nothing is healthy? I don't know, but we live in a world where we need money to survive, right? We are not talking about survival. We are talking about image and ego, right? So I was saying that there is this stress now because now they might truly be in survival. Why? Because they needed the big car, they needed the big house, they needed the clothes, they needed all of those things. When you get used to something, when it's taken away from you, it's much more difficult. And when you buy or you live in a house, right, that it costs a lot every month, you have to be able to pay for it, right? And they cannot go and live in a small house. They cannot do that. For their image, it's impossible. You understand what I mean? So there is this, and next to it, there is they looking at you still there, still thriving, and the mirror, you are still alive. You are still alive. If you are alive, you are in their mind, and in their mind, they know that you know exactly who they are. You understand? This is why the anxiety, it comes from everywhere. It's not just loss. Let's go to closure here, please. Yeah, they are observing you, right? And they are jealous, they are envious, they are vengeful because they are stuck. The wheels have turned, but at the end of the day, they have turned the wheels by themselves. This is all their. Listen, there is always change in life. Life is in movement, but the wheel of fortune is in reverse because, you know, I saw in a comment somebody talking about the fact that someone had it good, you know, they were doing ugly things and they had it good. And very often, as I just explained to you, right, that people, they get used to something. So very often what will happen is somebody will receive everything, right? They will receive everything, and so they will take some kind of time. Why? Because the highest want the person to show themselves how they are acting when they are getting a little bit of power. How are they acting when everything is good in their life, right? I always say you have to observe people not only when they are in a hard period, you have to observe them what is happening when they are in a good period. Because this will tell you everything. It's not when they are in a hard period. When they are in a hard period, it's hard, you know. No, what is happening when somebody is in a good period? Then look how they are treating people. Because a good person, they will maintain their humanity, their values, all of that. They will treat other people well. It doesn't matter what they have or what they don't have. Right? But some people, when they are struggling, so they have to be nice because they are coming from a place of insecurity, put them in a place where they are not anymore in insecurity, where they are getting what they want, and observe then how they are acting. It reveals how people are with the power that is given to them. Some people won't change And some people will reveal exactly the ugliness of who they are, right? Always observe a person when they are at a good place. What are they doing with this power, right? Okay. Listen, jealous, envious, yeah, they didn't change, you understand? They are still the attention seeker. This is why they are playing the victim now, right? To try to have some kind of attention on them. They still want to dominate you, right? You know that. This is why you are totally uninterested, because you know that they didn't change. They didn't change. They are still the same, right? Yeah. And they are getting crazy because they are getting messages that things are going good for you. They have the information that things are good for you. The Page of Wands. You are growing. You are growing. You are at a good place and you are growing. Look how this person is looking up with a beautiful energy. Again, we have the book here. The page is the beginning. You are only at the beginning of an amazing growth. They cannot stand it. And this is why the Wheel of Fortune will just be longer and longer and longer, because they can still not stand it. Instead of being, wow, you know what? We were totally wrong. I admire this person. This person is amazing. Our loss, they are not in this mentality. They are in the mentality of the Queen of Wands in reverse. Jealous and envious. Full of hate. This is what we have. Listen, I will leave it here. I kind of feel that we have a very, very clear image. Yeah, they cannot approach you anymore. They cannot approach you and they don't know what's happening with you. All they know is that things are going well and that you are... You see here? Maybe I need to open the light. Can you see here that we see that there is like the thing that it's all going up? Can you see that? They know that it's just the beginning, that you are just growing and growing and growing. They know. This they know. For the rest, they don't know anything. And it drives them crazy. They know that you are absolutely not miserable. And they know that you totally ended this cycle with them. They know that. They know that it's over. You will never ever look in their direction anymore. I will leave it here. Listen, I hope that it was helpful. I'll read you in the comments. Until very, very soon. Bye.